Thank you for joining me for today's episode of the Real ResQ Podcast, powered by Vertical Helicast. A shout out to our sponsors for this episode is Breeze Eastern, dedicated to the mission. Visit them today at breeze-eastern.com. Bell, above and beyond flight. Check them out today at bellflight.com. And Precision Aviation Group. Their precision is the key to your performance. Check them out today at precisionaviationgroup.com. Now, coming up next in this episode, I've got a buddy of mine who I have worked with quite a bit on multiple aspects. So we flew together down in the Gulf of Mexico on a couple of medevacs and a couple of missions down there. And then we were in training together. We did a couple of training classes together, and we just spent a lot of time together, quite a bit on the phone as well, doing videos and just having a good time. Well, in that, we had a lot of conversations about rescue, and I finally got him on the podcast. Prior to this, his dad was on the podcast, which makes it totally fun for me. So we get his dad first, now him. So please welcome our next guest, recorded live at HAI Heli Expo 2024 in Anaheim, Mr. Jason Segal. My name is Jason Quinn. I am United States Coast Guard Rescue Swimmer number 500. These are my rescues and rescues from those of us that put our lives on the line every day so others may live. This is the Real ResQ Podcast. Dude. All right. Yeah, you good? We haven't even started.
All right. I know.
Let's get this party started. What's up,
dude.
Knuckles, dude? What's up? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Real ResQ Podcast.
Yes, thank you, Quinny.
We are live at HAI Heli Expo today. 2024, we're in Anaheim, California. Want to shout out to Vertical Helicast. We're recording live in their
so
booth,
weird.
dude. They're freaking awesome.
It's kind of see how. Yeah, I can't believe we're actually here,
dude. I know.
I can't believe I'm actually here.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, let me introduce you, dude. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jason Segal, my brother.
Very much.
We have so we've worked together a couple times. We worked down in the Gulf of Mexico together. Mm-hmm. We met together through Priority 1 Air Rescue, and we we were making videos together. We were like doing this high-speed stuff. We were sending like ideas back and forth. Like, dude, if I put the camera on this part of the helicopter and then this part of the helicopter.
We were definitely creating storyboards.
Dude, it was
definitely creating storyboards. That was a good time.
Well, dude, I appreciate you coming on, man. Good to see
bro.
you,
No, it took a little minute, but I'm glad to be here, man. Glad to help out, and I'm honored to do the live podcast. But it's my first time here at HAI, dude. So this is incredible. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I've never been here before. Yeah, this is my first one. Yeah, 100%.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, I love this show.
I can see why. I can see why, man.
So it's like a reunion to all of our aviation buddies.
It is. It's very
sensory overload.
It is very sensory overload, but it's just like, I'll just put it to you out. Like, if anybody's out there that has any like swag, because like I'll see something, right, but I'm here working, right? So then it's like when I go back to grab it, it's just completely, they're like, it's gone. Here, have a mint. And I'm like, I have mints. Like, how about a pen or something, So if you got anything extra, please, by all means, drop it off.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Drop it off with Quinny. He'll give it to me.
Dude, it's so funny. It's so funny. You know what? I forgot to start something. Hold on. Let me do that real quick because I need to keep track of our time because you know what's going to happen with you and I? We're just going to keep talking.
Hey.
Like we haven't even really started like anything. I haven't even really like
dude, I can't believe I'm actually sitting in this chair right now.
I love it.
I'd rather get punched in the dick, dude. I'm gonna be honest, dude. That's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, all right. So let me throw one more thing out there, and that is I had the super pleasure to meet your dad over because your dad came on this podcast. He was episode 67.
Oh man.
Paramedic down in LA and oh my God, some of his stories. As a matter of fact, I had to record with him twice because he had so many stories, and he dropped you in there of like different stuff that you were on with your dad.
Yeah,
I was like,
it was it's crazy, man, because it's just every call that he probably told you about, I have a childhood memory attached to it, even from like just super duper like VIP visit at the frickin' zoo to like, hanging on the Queen Mary, rubbing elbows with Chuck Norris, like it was interesting. It was very blessed growing up. Very blessed growing up.
Well, let's bring it into it, man. Where did you grow up? Yeah, like give us a little rundown. Like what? And I know your dad was a freaking high-speed medic, firefighter, right?
Yeah.
And just
he actually started with LA City when they were just ambulance drivers. So he was like, started out as a cop, and then I don't know what happened with that. And then next thing you know, like, you know, he works on the working for LA City. You know, and it's like, it was interesting growing up, you know, back before all the social media and stuff, you know, like there was TV and there was newspapers, you know, so it was always like, you know, there's my dad, like, you know, he's on TV, you know, he's on Days of Our Lives, you know, he's on this, like, he's like made a front page of a paper, you know, and it's just like, I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, this dude just had a scratch, and just so happens like the photographer were there, so it looks amazing, right? It's this great story, you know. So it was awesome, you know, just growing up, being around all that, you know. I grew up around the firehouse, so like, you know, Thanksgivings and Christmases, you know, so I just been all around it, man, you know, so yeah.
As a matter of fact, in our conversation, you realized hanging around the firehouse, you went from boyhood to manhood pretty darn quick.
Yeah, so a lot of people don't realize, you know. So I don't even know if I could say they all know who you worked for, like we said it, right? But yeah, like I remember, you know, growing up, you know, to be honest, I don't remember if it was like Thanksgiving or Christmas, but you know, they popped a call, so they left, and it's just the families there, you know. So us kids, you know, so playing on the, you know, whatever truck was there, and you know, just playing in the racquetball center and stuff, you know. And I just, you know, apparently I went into a room I wasn't supposed to go into, but I just needed a bathroom. But I just remember sitting down there, and that was the day I learned about the birds and the bees and the female anatomy, you know, back in those bathrooms, bro. Like, I came out a new man, so thanks, guys, appreciate it. You know, newfound glory. Mom was pissed, you know. But yeah,
Mom,
man,
look at this is amazing.
Yeah, it was good, man. I always find out like which pole was greased, so I'd always make my brother slide down it, you know. So we'd be showing up for pictures, and he'd slide down the pole, complete grease stain, you know. So it was good, man. I had a lot of fun growing up around the firehouse.
Dude, that is awesome.
Yeah.
So now you went the medic route. Why not? Did you end up going firefighter as well? Or
no, man. You know, I'd always knew this is gonna sound very, I think is the word cliche. I don't know, but like I always knew I'd end up on an ambulance or a medic. Yeah. Like it was just a matter of time, right? But yeah, like, you know, fire, nothing. Like y'all can have that. I want nothing. And the reason why I don't want anything to do with being a fireman is because, you know, after I turned 18 when I was in high school, you know, so I'm legal age, right? So I'm trying to figure out what to do. So, you know, that allowed me to, like, my dad can, like, hey, you want to come right out with me? So, I mean, I'm like, yeah, why not, you know? Because really, he never talked about work. I didn't know what he did, you know, like I just knew like Halloweens were awesome because he would bring over like heads and like resuscitate Annies and stuff and like do all this done up blood, and like nobody would come to the house, right? Like, cause it was just, you know, like just all craziness. So I didn't know, but I knew my dad's work was fun, right? So plus like lights and sirens, that seemed fun, right? So I never got to experience that now, and now I can. So you know, we went out there, and you know, feels like, here's a bulletproof vest, here's a brush jacket. So like if you saw me, like I looked like a young like firefighter rookie dude. Like you would, like it just blended in, right? We pulled up to a house fire that just got, you know, put out, you know, and this was back in the day, right? So he's like, yeah, the arson investor's over there, you know, he's inside. So, you know, this guy's in there, you know, pants, white shirt, you know, cigar, and he's like, come on, you know. So I was like, yeah, cool. So like I'm all walking up, you know, I mean, I'm 18, so my chest is out, you know, I'm walking tall, you know, and I didn't even make it in the front door, man. It was so hot. Like, I felt like my eyeballs were on fire. I turned around so fast. Well, I sat down, opened up the car, sat down, put the seatbelt on. My dad looked at me, and I was like, nope, I'll be a medic. I didn't want nothing to do with fire. And that's the day I knew, like, fire's just not for me, bro. I'll stay outside the building, man. Y'all can bring them to me. I don't want that. Don't put that evil on me.
Dude, I love it. All right, well, let's skip forward a little bit. You get through medic school. You get on your truck. Do you remember your very first call?
Yeah, well, so it's weird. So I actually started out as a dive medic, you know. So I went to a school out here in California for commercial diving, you know, and for an extra $1 an hour, you become a dive medic, you know. So you got your EMT, you go through hyperbaric medicine school,
you
know,
cool.
And then so you're the medic. So so then one of the main reasons why I took it is because every job that goes out, like there has to be a medic involved. So I was like, well, I mean, shit, there's always going to be a medic out there, and I'm going to need to work. So So I went out, did that route. So I graduated school on a Friday, had everything packed. I was in Lafayette, Louisiana by Sunday night, and Monday afternoon I found a job in Lafayette, Louisiana, working for an offshore company doing commercial diving.
Dang, man.
Yeah, so did that like for 4 years. So like my first call was actually this is like, you know, a guy just, you know, he was bent, you know, so it's this little decompression sickness. So you just got to throw him back in the can, you know, and just I think it was
do you have to like dive down to go get him?
No.
I was gonna say, dude, they freaking sick.
They come up, you know, if you come up too fast, you know, and you don't get time to decompress. So he's just having some pain and everything. But they woke me up and it's like, bro, you need to run the tape, you need to run the can. And so that's an easy 4.5 hours to run in the can. And so a lot of people don't know, it's like there's nothing digital about it, so it's all by hand. So when the meters drop it and you're watching your clock and you're making sure all the times and stuff are good, because if you fuck up, like this dude's gonna be, you know, he's toast, you know. So you're
literally, and for those that don't know the hyperbaric chamber, and that's really the non-medics or the not people that don't understand it, but you basically bring them down to pressure at the same level they were underwater. And then you're bringing them up super slow to prevent the nitrogen going from.
Yeah, so it's real simple. So if you come up, so the standard treatment is like, even if you dove at 80 feet, 70 feet, like it don't matter, but like there's just a standard, you know, I think maybe a table 6 or something, I don't know, but it was 4.5 hours, just blow them down to 165. They're at 165, and then you're going to take your time coming up. So it didn't matter what depth you got bent at, you're going to 165, and then you're there for 4.5 hours, man.
Right on.
And it's nice and cold, so you're standing there naked because it's like you're so cold and wet, dude. Like you throw your clothes in the dryer because you're not going anywhere. So you're like, sorry, boys, I'm warming up my clothes, you know. And you're just standing there running a can, and you know your clothes are done and just dry because you can't leave them just in there, you know.
Yeah.
They're breathing 100% oxygen, so you remind them, take it off, put it on, and
right.
Yeah. I pooped my pants, man.
Dude, that was your very first one.
Yeah,
like
that was offshore.
Oh my God.
By myself. Yeah,
dude,
so
legit.
Yeah.
All right, man. So now I'm going to transition just a little bit because you and I have a mutual friend, and I say that because Lafayette, Louisiana, we kind of met through that realm right there. So we ended up anyway. Lenny Cunningham. He's episode 36, dude. That's our boy, man. I love Lenny, dude.
Yeah. So Lenny, man, love that dude. In fact, so our kids grew up together. So actually, my daughter and the bear, they always go down to
that would be his daughter, not literally the bear.
Oh, yeah. Well, you don't even know, bro.
You don't even know.
So, but yeah, no, like the kids, like they'll go down there. The bear and my daughter will go down. They spend like a month and a half at the river house together. So yeah, so families are real close. Love that guy to death. Known him for a while.
For sure.
He was a Lafayette, Louisiana. It's a small town. So there's not a whole lot going on, but they got Acadian ambulance there, right? And so if you look at Louisiana at the time, everything I-10 and below, that was all Acadian ambulance. So they were everywhere, right?
Yep.
And so I wanted to work on the truck. I got tired offshore, and then went to the truck, and just because I decided I was going to get married, and I met my wife Crystal, and I was like, well, I was doing some other I did some other stuff at the time, and I'm like, it sucks getting punched in the face. Like, I got to figure something out, So I was like, well, if I'm going to get married, I better.
Almost want to elaborate more on that, but I know this story, so the audience is not going to find out.
Yeah.
That's good.
If they want the story, they got to earn the story. That's got to be another episode,
So the stories are pretty freaking funny.
So like,
we'll leave it at that.
Yeah. So
cliffhanger.
So I ended up getting back on the truck, and deep South Louisiana, bro. Like, I'm a Southern California, bro. I grew up in Southern California at the base of the foothills. Grew up in Laverne, right there by Pomona, So, I'm deep South. So it's like, like one of my first assignment, hey, you got to go to Bro Bridge. I'm like, dude, what's a Bro Bridge? Like it's all Cajun country out there, man. So it took a minute. It took me 3 months working offshore so I could finally understand what they were saying. Yeah. Like, no lie, because it's, as you know, bro, it's a whole lingo within its own. So.
Totally.
So
coming from New England, I'm with you, dude. I come down there. Hey, I'm like, what did you just say?
Shout out to Troy, man.
Yeah.
So,
oh
So yeah, so it was like I know I wanted to work on the truck, but I know I needed to be on a busy truck. There's no greater classroom, than the streets, right? Like you can go to paramedic school and EMT school and all that stuff, but that'll just get you the foundation to where like, oh, okay, you can identify, hey, it's bright wind and spurting. Okay, I need to do something, So at least it does something for you for school, But like for those EMTs out there that are thinking about getting their paramedic, man, get you on a busy truck, man. Go work them streets, man, because I'm telling you right now, when you get through school, go to P school, there's going to be people out there that like they're afraid to interact with patients. They don't want to start IVs, especially when I got to the ER. Like when I was going through my medic stuff, I'm working with Lenny and Lane and Clarence and all them boys. Like by the time I got to the hospital ER, it was awesome. They all wanted me to start IVs. I didn't have no asses, no catheters, no bags, nothing. So I used it to my advantage. So definitely, use those streets to get that education. So the call came, man. Like I wanted unit number 5. Unit 5 was the north side of Lafayette, Louisiana. That was the busiest truck in the company.
Wow.
And I wanted it. Like that's where I wanted to go.
Nice.
But they put me on this truck just running transfers. And so I sat there and ate that shit sandwich for at least 6 months. And I remember I went to the boss and I was like, hey, man, look, dude, like I know how to do a transfer and the paperwork. Like it's amazing. Like you should see it. But I would really like to run some calls. So they were like, all right, we'll see what we can do. And then they literally got a call and they said, hey, man, we got a spot open, Unit 5 at night. You want it? I was like, yes.
Yes.
Yes. Can I not curse? Or
you can do whatever you want.
Okay. So, sorry.
We're good, man. If you want to, you can pause there, insert swear, and then pull it out.
Yeah. So I was like, sweet. And so, but I looked and, I will say this. There's some medics that I grew up with, in Lafayette, Louisiana that dude, like incredible, like wow. Like yeah. I look at a call that my dad and I were involved in one night and how I watched my old man work and everything that went down. Like when I saw these fellows work, like that's what it reminded me of. So I was like, I gotta get with one of these guys because I need to learn some shit. What better way are you gonna learn, right?
Right, totally.
And so I got my spot, and it's with Lenny Cunningham. And so Lenny Cunningham, like
the first time you and Lenny got to work together. And by the way, Lenny specifically said, "Hey, I know he did. Jason,
I know he did, bro.
What he did with his glasses on our very first night together."
All right.
So what happened was. Let's go, dude.
Okay, so
we're going to divert real quick to thank our sponsors.
Breeze Eastern. For over 80 years, Breeze Eastern has designed and manufactured battle-proven aerial rescue hoists, winches, and cargo hooks. Each product is carefully crafted to support demanding mission scenarios, ensuring the job gets done safely and efficiently. Visit them today at www.breeze-eastern.com.
So I get the call, and it's like, man, Unit 5, Lenny Cunningham. That knows it. I mean, that's one of the best medics like Acadian had. So, like, this is my fucking shot, bro. Like, here's my opportunity to learn some stuff. But I got to prove myself to my partner. And there was already a reputation about, newer employees and stuff, or the newer EMTs. I mean, dude, you know how it is, right?
Yeah.
So it was very important to me. It's like I really wanted to put my best foot forward. I was really trying to, all right, if it's a chest pain, it's going to this, if it's going to be, breathing problems, this. So I was like, okay. So I was like, my goal is to stay at least 3 steps ahead of Lenny. Like, if I could do that shift, like, he's got to like me.
Yeah.
Like, he's got to, okay. So, like, I get there, we're showing up work, and we introduce each other, So there's that whole, like, feeling out, And I just kind of, like, remember Lenny and his hair. The only way I can describe it, and I'm sorry, bro, but I got to say it, is it's like the way, like, it's like really like flowy, like in the wind and stuff, I'm like, this fucking country boy right here, dude. Like, okay. And then
he still does have that little flow. It's just a little shorter.
But, and then he's just like, country. He's like, no, I'm a river rat. Grew up like in whatever it was, like down in Motown. I'm like, oh, dude, like, walked around the levee like barefoot, like looking like strong. Yeah. But he was a good dude, man. He was a good dude. And, and it's funny because, I had my own little playlist, dude. So when I was working the truck, bro, I called it my 1015 playlist, dude. So lights and sirens. So I actually had a playlist that would match the call. So whatever call we had, I fucking had a song for it, dude. And that's how we rolled the entire night. Yeah. So that was pretty cool. You know, it kind of breaks the ice, you know. And so we were working nights, you know. So as it goes nice, what's interesting about Lafayette, Louisiana, and that weather out there, it's like hot and it's humid, like during June, July, August, right? So, you know, obviously we keep the truck nice and cool, all right? Well, and I didn't realize how bad it was, but like as soon as you walk outside, it's like poof, like your glasses turn into this. Like it's really aggravating, right?
Totally. That's all like Louisiana. Because you come in from the nice cold, you walk outside, super hot and humid, glasses, boom, fogged right up. You can't see a damn thing.
You know,
and that's sunglasses, cameras, like that's everything. You almost have to keep cameras and stuff outside. You need like 2 pair of everything. One sitting outside, one sitting inside, so the temperature is the same. It's terrible.
Oh man.
and
so it just so happened, like as soon as I started working on the truck, like I started needing to wear glasses, right? And so like every day. So this was a new thing for me, right? So I ended up like convincing my wife, like there was these, I mean, dude, they looked legit, bro. And it said Versace on the side, bro. Like, come on, dude. Like, that looked like it looked good. Like I looked real good, bro. And sophisticated because it says like, the Versace on the side, dude.
I'm just saying.
So it was like, okay, I'm in. So,
is that like the Will Smith? I make this look good.
Oh, dude. You know, it's funny. You know, my old supervisor says, you know, if you look good, you feel good.
Just saying. Just saying.
If you feel good, you'll play good. And if you play good, they pay good, right? So as long as I feel all those things, you know, I can get to that, you know, the ultimate goal, right? Any medic who gets into the field, right, wants to end up on a helicopter, right? I mean, that's just, you know, the cat's ass right there is to be able to grind and earn your way at that a spot at that table, right? So I convinced my bride, okay, if you want these $400 glasses, now just starting out at the time, you know, so this is. You know, I'm newly married. I got a mortgage, you know, so, but I want these glasses. And she's like, well, okay. And I was like, well, fine. So I have my glasses. And I stepped out of the truck. They got a call, vehicles, whatever. I think it was a rollover with multiple ejections. You know, I don't know. All I know is we're just going up University.
I love the fact that you remember the glasses part of this thing and not the actual call. This is so exciting.
Oh, my God, dude. This was...
Keep going,
there was
dude.
a lot of firsts, dude. There was a lot of firsts on this fucking night, bro. So
first night with Lenny.
Oh, dude.
First night with glasses.
This is the first night, and then it's just my first night on the truck. So this is my first night interacting with all the cops, everybody who works on the north side. I'm the new medic, so it's just like I'm about to meet everybody, right? So no pressure. But anyway, so it's like rollover, multiple ejections, we're rolling up. And as we're rolling up, I kind of looking off to my left side, and I see Tavis out there. And, like, it's a legit call. I mean, like, he's with somebody, and this person's on the ground. And so I think Lenny went out, and, like, he's like, hey, man, I'll grab the bag. You grab this. And I was like, okay. Because, you know, as partners do, right, you're kind of still, it's our first night. I mean, ultimately, like, we got to the point where Lenny and I, like, we just didn't even fucking talk to each other. Like,
you just knew what you were doing back and forth.
Yeah, and just, you know, so this was day one, right? So he's like, hey, I'm going to grab the bag. You grab the monitor. So I was like, yeah, cool, man, not a problem. So I get out, and as I get out, I mean, it was like, poof. And I was
fogged
like.
right up. Can't see a damn thing.
I was like, fuck. And so I'm hearing commotion and stuff. So it's like, I take my glasses off. I put them in my pocket. I pull the gurney out, and I grab, I think I grabbed, like, the trauma bag, and I grabbed the monitor. And because I'm like, I'm not wheeling the fucking stretcher. Like, we'll carry the spine board out here. Like, I'm not wheeling the stretcher because it's going to get wet. It's going to get in the mud. Then I'm going to have to clean the truck. Fuck that. No, we'll carry him. So I get over there, and I sit down, and I'm like, but as I get over there, I'm like, okay, all right, here's what I'm going to do. I got my monitor. I'm going to get next to the patient. I'm going to baseline set of vitals. Gloves on, scene safe. Let's do this.
Yeah.
So I get there. I get to the patient. I'm like, pop, dude, like, boom. Getting a blood pressure, I'm putting it on the monitor, I'm printing out a strip, got an SPO2, like, oh, no. The medic walks up, is like, hey, man, you know, he's got like a 25-year-old female, boom. And he's like, all right, we got to load up into the car. Next thing you know, Unit 5 on the radio. All of a sudden, here on the radio, yeah, Unit 5, go ahead. Hey, you know, I got another one for you down the road. I got a vehicle with people trapped down the road. And so Lenny's like, hey, man, I'll get in the truck, we'll roll with it. I was like, all right, I'll get everything. So I disconnect my blood pressure cuff. I grab the monitor. I put everything up. He's grabbing the bag. I grab the monitor and the trauma bag, and I'm walking over, put everything in the truck. He's inside. He's on the driver's seat, so he puts us en route, right? Because everybody knows, like, we be watched for times, right? So puts us en route. I get in the vehicle, and I get there, and I'm like, hey, man, I'm freaking out in the cab. And he's like, whoa, what are you doing? I was like, bro, my glasses are gone. He's like, what? And I'm like, dude, my fucking $400 Versace's, dude, they're fucking gone. Oh my God, what am I gonna do? My wife's gonna kill me, bro. And he's like, go see if you can see it out in the field, bro. So now here I am. So this is turning into like a freaking DUI investigation, dude. And dude, there's cops out there. They're I don't know if they're looking for body parts, their shoes, I don't know what. But I am literally in the middle of the scene. Fuck! And the cops are like, what? And so they walk up to me, they're like, what are you doing? And I was like, my glasses are gone, they're Versace's, my wife's gonna kill me, bro, have you seen them? And they're like, what? And I'm just like, fuck. Just, dude, I'm in a panic.
Oh my God,
and
dude.
so, like, I don't know, like, we got a call waiting for us, dude. So I get inside, and Lenny starts driving, and he's like, you find him? I'm like, bro, my wife's gonna kill me, bro. Those are $400 Versace's, bro. What do I do? And Lenny's driving, and he's like, call 210. So I was like, okay. So this is our supervisor.
Yeah.
The supervisor that night was Kurt Kusan. And Kurt is a fairly new supervisor, and I've never had an interaction with this man before in my life, and I'm a new employee. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to call this guy. So I called him up. I was like, he's like, hello. I was like, hey, Kurt, this is Jason, Unify. My wife's gonna fucking kill me, bro. I got $400 pair of Versace somewhere on that seating carrier. I don't know what to do. He's like, what? My wife's gonna kill me, bro. I don't have my glasses. No. And he goes, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm going to a call. And he's like, can you see? And I'm like, oh yeah, I can see, but bro, my glasses up there, dude. They're $400, bro. My wife's gonna kill me, bro. I'm gonna have to spend the night at the station. I can't go home. And he's like, all right, I'll see what I can do. Just go to your call. So you go to our call, right? So we're going down this dirt road or whatever, back in, I don't even know where we were at, so we pull up, and sure as shit, like, I'm literally sitting in the front seat. And I'm like, this fucking sucks. Lenny's like, got my jam on, and he's like, oh, fuck, whoa. And I'm just like, this is bad. This is really bad.
Just turned into the worst day of your life.
Fuck, $400 pair of Versace's, bro. Dude, I didn't even have them for like 2 weeks, dude.
Oh my God.
So we pull up to the vehicle, and yeah, I mean, there's people trapped in there, right? So I'm like, all right, okay. I fucked up the last call, okay? But this is the one. Like, I'm going to do good this one, okay? Like, we can do this. So he gets out, grabs the bag. I get out, I grab the monitor, and we're walking up, and Lenny's like already like in the vehicle doing his assessment. I'm looking, and I'm like, there's like 3 females trapped up in there, And so I'm like, okay, like, we can do this. Fire's on the way. We got saws. Jaws of life is on the way. Like, it's gonna be fine. And I feel somebody tap on my shoulder, and there's this female standing there. I didn't even see her, but she is like talking like 1,000 miles an hour, and she's just everywhere. And I'm like, oh my God, you have a brain bleed. I need to get you in the back of the ambulance right now. And so I'm like, Lenny, I'm gonna take this patient to the back of the ambulance. And he's like, okay. So I grab her, I put her down on the stretcher, and I wheel her into the back of the ambulance, right? And as I'm doing that, I guess people showed up from the fire department. Now, next thing I know, they walk in, and they have another patient that's on a spine board. So they put her on the bench seat.
Right.
So now I don't know if this one got ejected or what. So I got like what I think is a head injury on the stretcher, and I don't even know what's going on with this patient here. And they're still tending to one that's, I don't know, trapped or what. They're still tending that one. But I'm like, you know what? This is my fucking moment, bro. This is my moment.
I'm all excited.
No, dude,
right,
I'm gonna do this. So I was like, okay. Vital signs. I need to get vital signs. So I grab the monitor. I do this. I turn it on. I'm putting on the leads. I put on the SBO2, and I'm like, my freaking blood pressure cuff I left on the other patient, so I don't have a blood pressure cuff. And I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, what do I do? So I was like, let me get another one. Well, every cuff that I grabbed was for a completely different monitor. So I was like, you gotta be shitting me. I was like, I gotta get something from anything, for the love of God. Like, please help me. And so I was like, fuck it, dude. Like, I just grabbed, I grabbed a manual cuff, okay?
Yeah.
And as I grabbed the manual cuff, I'm like, and as I'm blowing it up, I can't see, but if I get close, I can see. So I'm literally like blowing this thing up, and I'm like
1 inch away.
Dude,
from
I'm
the
like
monitor.
1 inch away from this girl's arm. The doors fly open, and I'm like, I'm turned around like.
Wait, you gotta put that back on, dude. Falling on.
Turn around, eyes open. I'm like all squints, and I turn around. It was my supervisor, and he walks up and he's like, "Bro, you owe me one," and he hands me my glasses. That dude was able to go back to that scene and find my $400 Versace glasses. I was like, bro, thank you so much. You saved my life. And he's like, hey. I was like, you have no idea what, oh my God. And he's like, bro, get to the patients. So I was like, oh yeah. So I jumped back into the truck, and I was able to go ahead and get all that stuff going on, and sure enough, dude, like I found my glasses, and Lenny goes up, Lenny's like, bro, you found your glasses? And I was like, yeah, bro. I was like, Kurt found my glasses, and I was like, hey man, by the way, here's your baseline set of vitals for those 2 patients, baby.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah, dude. So that was night number 1, man, between Lenny and I. Yeah, it kicked off really good, dude. It was, dude. When I went home and I remember she said, hey, how was work? She new part. I was like, yeah, it was great. Did anything happen? Nope, nothing at all.
You know
So,
what?
yeah.
Sometimes you just don't want to say it.
Yeah, just let
it ride. Dude.
Yeah,
Keep
yeah.
that down. Wait like a couple weeks,
Bro.
maybe a couple months, maybe a
No.
couple years,
No.
and then you're like, hey, remember you did those pair of glasses?
Bro, yeah. That was night number 1,
Oh my
man.
God. Dude, thank you so much for sharing that, dude. Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
long time ago.
That's so
Long time
funny,
ago.
man.
Yeah, dude. So, yeah.
Awesome. We're going to divert real quick to thank our sponsors.
Bell is proud to sponsor Vertical Helicasts and their vision to hold meaningful mission, safety, and best practice conversations in the helicopter industry. The lessons learned from these conversations will undoubtedly shape the future of both new and veteran helicopter operators.
All right, so now I'm going to change gears a little bit because
right.
So you and I meet while we were working with P1, and you went down to Texas, El Paso. You ended up working a contract down there, but it was not just flight medic stuff.
No, that was a very unique,
Yeah.
very unique contract. And the awesome thing is like, if you think of the starfish on a devil, and for everybody out there, starfish, I'm referring to the human rectum.
Oh.
So as the starfish,
I'm
right?
glad you said
if
that because
was the,
I wasn't actually sure where you were going with that.
Yeah. So if the devil had a starfish, I was literally sitting like right on a crevice on a wrinkle in like deep hot South Texas heat on an H2S field when I got a phone call to go work. But it was like, hey, you got to move to El Paso, and I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
But my wife, we just gave birth to my second kid.
Yeah.
So I got a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old at home, and I'm like, all right, cool. And he's like, aren't you going to talk to your wife? I'm like, nope, she's either going to come or she's going to stay, but I'm going to take this opportunity. Now I say that jokingly, but make no mistake, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her, if she didn't have my back,
Oh,
So,
I feel the same way about my wife, for sure.
Yeah.
Shout out to Melissa
yeah,
and
Crystal.
Shout
Yeah.
out to both.
And so, I called her up, and she was all in, and what's really unique about that contract is just, teamed up. I don't know, can I say that? Teamed up with Air Methods. So it was like Air Methods pilots, Air Methods flight medic, but it was like in the back, we were the hoist operator, right?
Right.
So Yeah, but what was really unique about that training is because what a lot of people don't understand when it comes to the hoist world is like how much of a perishable skill
Oh yeah.
that is, right? So, yeah, they gave me an opportunity, and just the amount of training that was just dumped into me, and the investment that was made, like,
Right.
I mean, that's what gave me the opportunity to continue on from there.
Yeah.
So I was actually on that contract for like 4 years, something like that, whatever
Yep.
it was.
Yep.
Yeah. And then that contract ended.
Well, hold on. Don't go that far because I want to hear like one of your hoists. Because you had a couple of like you and Ryan Anders, Dustin Scara.
Yeah.
Like you guys actually had. It wasn't, if I remember correctly. You're gonna have to correct me if I'm wrong. It's not like you guys were called out like on a daily basis.
No.
However, when you got called out, it was usually something legit. And I remember Ryan having one that was like almost a 200-foot hoist down on the side of a mountain or something crazy.
Yeah.
And I don't want to talk about his stories. Someday he'll come on and tell it. But what did you have there? What was something that stood out to you?
So it's El Paso's awesome. Like, I love that place, the food, the people, everything about that place is amazing. But there's this mountain, it's like in the center of the town. Okay. The Franklin Mountains. And it's interesting to sometimes how people literally, they'll like lose their way. Like, you just have to walk downhill. You're going to run into a house, but they like how they get lost. Like, it's crazy. Like, just the crevices and the mountain terrain back there, and there's some towers on top that, the FCC has, right? So there's always guys going up there, I guess, to work on these towers. But the hill's the mountain's very, very deceiving because there's a ridge line, but it's like steep on both sides.
Okay.
And so just the hoist case that I got was literally like a dude that was up there working, and he ended up tumbling a couple hundred feet down the side of the mountain.
No way.
And then just kind of came to rest. But I felt horrible for Palma because, we launched on it.
That would be Eric Palmer.
Yeah.
Do you love him, old boy, Eric?
My little pudding pop. Shout out to my pudding.
Yeah, right.
And so, but I felt horrible for him because, the 412, it's a great aircraft, right? But, I mean, this is August, and it's high, hot, humid, right? And so we literally, shout out to Matt Crandall, I believe he's still flying with Air Methods, we literally had to walk down the cliff to try to find the winds, in order to perform the hoist. And it was like, hey, we got the winds, but I looked at Palma and I was like, bro, dude, like, he's going to have to hike like 2 football fields to get to this guy. And he's already kind of on a cliff and kind of packaged, and, some people are already there. But, dude, it was terrain. And I'm like, dude, I'm in sitting room with, he's got an ALS bag, I think 2 other things too.
Yeah.
And I was like, sorry, bro. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, if you need me, dude, I'm going to be down there at the helipad because literally the hospital is right there, So, yeah, dude, it was just a simple insertion. It was really cool, man. That was literally like my first hoist case, just, finding the winds and then bringing them in there and then, just kind of hanging out. I think we had to shut down. I think we waited like 2 hours till like Palma gave us a call. So,
Wow.
yeah, so it was turned into like a little night hoist, and yeah, it's like, what they say, like there's a build up, and then it was like, yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like disappointing, but I learned right there real quick that it's just like, yeah, because he was all packaged into a pet bag and everything. And dude, as soon as we got on that table, everybody just, and I saw scissors. Dude, I was like, no, don't, because they just wanted to cut everything. So yeah, that was that I learned. Like, they're scissor happy over there. So make sure you watch your equipment because they'll tear it up, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my very first hoist one.
That's awesome. Palma, dude. Wait, and I'm gonna throw one more thing in there is because you said it was like that was it, but it's all the training that you go into prior to that, and I know that you guys were doing a ton of training out there, which was. That's amazing.
It's pretty unheard of, really.
Yeah.
They were coming out like it seemed like every 90 days almost, and it was just a solid week, and it was all progression. Like we're not egressing, we're progressing. So Bob Watson, Will Milam, shout out to Will. That's one of my mentors. I had a lot of mentors, coming up. I got to fly with some really, really awesome individuals. But yeah, it was all part of that opportunity, man.
Dude,
Yeah.
sick, dude.
Yeah.
All right, so now that contract ends, and you come over to the Gulf of Mexico. This is where you and I start working together.
Yeah.
And we only actually had like a couple shifts together, but I'll tell you what, every one of them was a blast, dude.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, man. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Oh,
it doesn't matter whether we were training. I can't remember if we actually ran any calls, but I'm sure we did because we were always running calls. But for the most part,
Well,
nothing totally stands out to me at the moment. But
calls are calls,
yeah,
man. Like,
and training flights. We had so much fun.
no, yeah, and that's like, it's like people like being at this event. Everybody kind of looks at me and they're like, "What?" I'm just like, bro, I'm that turd in the punch bowl nobody expected, dude. So here I am. You know what I mean, dude? So, because I've been really blessed, bro. Got to work with some amazing individuals, dude. And sometimes when I just sit back and show a video or something to somebody, or they have a question, they kind of look at me and I kind of show them proof of concept. They kind of like look at me and like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I just like say, hey, bro, just a shiny turd, bro. So, but yeah, that ended, and then the door opened up after that. So operations, Gulf of Mexico, operations in South America. Got to travel to Mexico, go fly with them boys down in Mexico. Got to fly over and
Love the boys in Mexico. You and me, we both flew with those boys.
Love those guys, man.
Those guys have some legit stuff as well.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
I learned a lot.
They're flying up at like 10,000 feet and pulling people off.
I actually shit myself when I was out there in the bed because I got altitude sickness.
Oh my
dude,
God.
I showed up and dude, they're so nice. They were like, here's oxygen, bro. I wanted to take that oxygen so bad, but I'm like, no fucking way, dude. I'm not doing it. They're going to have a picture. No way. Like, do you know what would happen if this picture got back? I'm like, this. So I literally, dude, that night, dude, I was like, I was kind of bitter. I was like, I should have took the oxygen because that was bad, bro. I felt so bad for the maid that had to come in and change my sheets, dude, because it was just bad, dude. This is my first time. I didn't know,
Oh my God. That's so funny.
Yeah.
And mind you, for the most part, like Louisiana, you're almost at sea level.
Flat, dude. That's
you're almost
sea level,
under sea
dude.
level.
You know,
it's almost below. But then you go up to like 10,000 feet.
Whoa, dude.
Yeah.
I was just thrown into it, man. I was, oh, God. I was like, CHF.
Oh, it's so funny. I want to drop one more story in here, because and then I'm going to transition into what you're doing now, because I think it's pretty badass what you're doing now. But while you were out on a training class, you ended up like kind of helping them. They asked you to just I ended up doing like a little search out call. What the heck? What?
Yeah. So what's amazing is, I've got to work with some and fly and train with some really, really amazing individuals and some fucking phenomenal teams, man. Like, I still can't believe it, and in this particular time, like, there was just a new hoist class, you know what I mean? So it's this brand new class, 101, and so a call came in, this kid fell, I think he was like 13-year-old kid, fell 300 feet, and he's in some water, and, he's got some spinal injury, he's got a sensitive back, and legs are tingling, so he ended up having at the end of the day, he ended up having a full-on broken back.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the insertion was interesting because it was about 185 foot, and it was a Huey, so we had to stay high. It was warm that day. So the insertion was, no worries at all, right? And then, but what sucked is the looks are deceiving, So by the time I got on deck, dude, it was like ankle breaker 5000s, dude. Like, it was everywhere, bro. Like, I actually had to use the cable. Like every time I watch the video, dude, I'm like, fuck. 'Cause I actually had to kind of use the cable to prop myself up because just between the river and just the rocks and the terrain, dude, like, I was like, man, I'm going to break an ankle.
Wow.
So I was like, this is starting great. And so off they go. I told them, just insert us, and then they're going to go be gone about an hour. They got to get some fuel because it took us about an hour to get there. So went down there, and so as I walked.
Was there any of the other guys with you?
Just one of the other RSs was with me.
Right
yeah,
on.
so it was just us two.
Yeah, so you guys went down as a partner crew.
Yeah.
So one of their guys, and then and there you're there as backup.
Yeah, I'm just there to help. Like, we don't have any. Like, there was nothing there. I didn't have. No first aid back. Nothing.
Oh wow.
Like, nothing at all. In fact, their plan was they were just going to go pick up a medic and insert them, and I'm like, that's have they done that before? Like, does this guy
Yeah.
ridden the hoist? And he's like, no, but we need to get. I'm like, dude, you're not doing that. That's just too
Yeah.
dangerous, you know? You're asking for problems.
Right,
So,
right. And God forbid something would happen with that. Oh my gosh.
You know, so I ended up, you know, I was like, yeah, I can go give a hand, you know, and help out. So I went down there, you know, and he was in a really peculiar spot. And, you know, when I got there, you know, you go up and down the spine and stuff, you know, and it was bad. Like he hurt, he was in some cold water, so he's very hypothermic. And he was in like a little puddle almost, but there was a lot of trees. So when these like rescue guys showed up, they're like, hey, can we help? I'm like, yeah, man. I was like, anything you do to get that tree out of here? And dude, he literally was just like he pulled out this thing and it was like a serrated saw. And I was like, dude, can you? And he just sat there, bro, and just, dude, he cut that tree. I was like, holy cow. Well, and then it was just kind of like we threw him in a pet bag, and just the way the aircraft was coming in, and so I had to position the RS on the other side of the creek. So the plan was, the hook is gonna come in, I'm gonna connect to the pet bag, but I have to like push the survivor like out towards you so he can get out of the cover, and then up he goes. So I grabbed the hook. I'll show you some of that.
Oh, I can't wait.
It was a shit show, bro. I grabbed that hook and because it went into some rocks, so I ran over there. I picked it up. I don't even know how. I've watched this video 1,000 times, dude. I connected that hook up, and when I pulled it, it literally like tied itself to where if he came up on load, literally like there was going to be a knot in the cable.
Oh
like
my gosh.
And so I hooked it, connected. I looked. I was like, oh crap. So like I undid that real quick, and then I connected it again. Hey, ready for pickup. There they go. They pick him up. I kind of pushed him to the side. This dude has it, so I'm like we're good. And I'm watching, and it's going up, and he's going up, and I'm watching. I'm looking at him. I'm looking at that. Dude, we got 250 feet of tagline, bro.
Holy
and I'm looking up, and I'm like, dude, this is not good. So I freaking run.
You're running out of tagline.
I'm running out of tagline, yeah.
Oh,
and so
geez.
it's nothing but a 200-foot straight up, and there's nothing but trees and vegetation. So in my mind, it's like, you know, is that going to go into the tail rudder? No. But could that thing get caught on all the vegetation as it's going up and out of this canyon?
Right.
Because that's where we're at, this canyon. I'm like, absolutely. So I ran as fast as I could, smash my shin. I get up, and you go to the video. I'll see if I can find it. I put my hand on it, and I get there, and I'm not kidding. I'll see if I can find it and send it to you. Literally, like where the hand is at, the end of the rope is like right here, and so I just sat there. I just held on to the rope and just waited for it to break.
Yeah.
And so thank God it broke. You know, the weak link did his job. It broke and it went down. But I was like, bro, if I don't even want to know what would have happened if that thing just, I don't even want to think about it. It's just like one thing after another. But it was awesome. Like afterwards, you know, the extraction out there went really good, you know, and, you know, I think he was in like a full body cast for a while. But yeah,
wow.
You know, it's sometimes it happens, you know, I'd be out training with the boys, you know, with the agencies, and they pop a call, and I never ask. Because it's not my job, you know.
No.
I'm not there teaching anybody. I'm learning from them, and we're just there flying. And if I get the opportunity and they ask, like, yeah, sure, I'll do it, you know. I'll help you out, you know, and I let them decide.
I had that happen to me one time.
Yeah.
I had to do the same thing. I ended up doing the hoisting side of it.
Oh,
They're like, yeah, we need you to be the hoist operator. I'm like, you want me to do what? Like, I don't think insurance covers this. And they're like, yeah, we need you to do this.
Yeah.
Because we can't do it. And, you know, and anyway, it all worked out.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that, because I don't want other people to be like, you guys did what?
I don't know.
No, we don't. We don't do any of that.
Did it for the gram, yo.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
We're going to divert real quick to thank our sponsors.
Precision Aviation Group, Mission-critical operators and fleet managers rely on Precision Aviation Group as a worldwide leading rotor and fixed-wing MRO provider. PAG provides tip-to-tail solutions in 4 MRO segments: avionics, components, engines, and manufacturing DER services. A single point of contact gives you access to over 150 million in inventory, globally 24/7. Just call 800-537-2778. Precision Aviation Group. Others sell parts. We sell support.
All right, man. Well, let's switch gears because we've already been on for like almost 45 minutes right now, dude. That's how much I love this. We just keep talking. I knew this was gonna happen. I knew this was gonna happen. It's freaking great.
I'm listening to your questions and I'm being really strategic with what I tell you too. So, okay.
You don't have to. No, you know what? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Which is, but I'll tell you, man, I love the stories.
Yeah.
Like, I literally can't get enough of these stories. So that's why I'm so happy you came on to share. But all right, so let's transition. What are you doing now? So you've moved on. You're working with a new company, and this is kind of a new thing for you. Like, you've only been there for, if I remember, like just a couple months, right?
Since August.
August, yeah.
Yeah. So this is real news. So part of, like, before I ended up with Vida, I worked with P1, and with that opportunity came with just a lot of teaching, a lot of instructing, and working with a lot of different agencies.
Yeah.
And so I came across this article years ago, and it was about this device, and it's supposed to like do some spin thing or something. I don't know what it was, but I know that the fact that the company that I work for, like we would run into it. It was just a matter of time out there. You know, anything and all things gear, like we're gonna work with it and try it and do anything. So I just called him and I said, hey, my name's Jason. Yada yada yada. This is what I do, and I'm just really curious because I know for a fact I'm gonna run into that out in the field. And it was kind of funny because the lady on the other line was like, hold please, and she hung up the phone, and, Kayla picked up the phone and, again, introduced myself. So it was awesome because one of the things that I had to do is, like, how working with P1, like, how do you tell people what you do?
Right, yeah,
especially like my wife, right? Like, she would tell people, oh, he jumps out of helicopters. Oh, I don't know what he's doing. Whatever. Yeah. Right. So, like, my go-to line, right, would be, oh yeah. So I teach search and rescue and tactical operations techniques out of helicopters to local, state, and government agencies globally. And I'll give them like a list, right? So just to kind of put it, plus, like, dude, I eat crowns, right? Knuckle dragger, bro. Like, it sounds amazing, right? So legit, right?
I think, wait a minute, I got to think about mine because it's like, if you can do it out of the back of the helicopter, I can do it or teach it.
I like it, dude. I like it.
Try to make it shorter.
Yeah. And so, so I talked with them and stuff, and then that was it, dude. Like, just I maybe talked to him a few times, and like 5 years go by. I mean, there was some time that goes by. And I made a post one day on LinkedIn, hey, such and such, new chapter, yada, yada, yada. And then, he reached out. He's like, man, I'd love to talk to you. And I was like, I'd love to hear from you,
Yeah.
And he reached out, and, dude, he could have hired me to just, like, take the trash out. Bro, I just wanted to get back in aviation, bro. Like, I'm willing to do anything.
Yeah.
So, so to be honest, like, I had no idea what position he was offering me, dude. Like, I wanted to be in it again.
Yeah.
And so they hired me up, and, they hired me as their their sales director, right? And like this fancy little thing called an SME, which is like a subject matter expert. And I'm just like, I'm far from that, but I know how to hoist a little bit, but and then that was my introduction when I saw the equipment. And then when I saw the equipment out, I actually got to put my hands on it and play with it. It was just like, man, like, is it for every single person in the world? No, man, absolutely not. But for those agencies out there that have a high turnover rate, like, there's a real application and some real like the safety that it brings to not only the crew but the peace of mind for the pilot flying. Because dude, how many times training a brand new hoist operator? This is day number 3. He's been in the aircraft, dude. And he's out there working the hook, like. it takes a lot of time. So
Right.
so the ability to like get this guy in the aircraft and go to hoist, and when whoever's working the hoist, right, is learning this craft and decides, you kind of get to a point where it's like, bro, you've probably added enough ingredients to the soup sandwich down there. So we just hit a button, like we could stop the chaos, and it's a reset.
Right.
So yeah.
So go into a little more detail. What exactly are we talking about? Now, I know what you're talking about. It's an anti-spin device.
No.
Well,
it's not an anti-spin device.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
No,
Sorry,
you're good. No.
Let's go.
No.
Tell me what it is.
No, it's good. So it's called the VRS system, right? So it's the Vita Rescue Stretcher. There, you can call it the whatever, right? But it really is game-changing technology. Okay, so what this thing does, right? It's got accelerometers, it's got gyroscopes, it's reading like 1,000 data points a second. I'll never forget the first time I told this to an engineer. He laughed in my face, and he's here, and I plan on finding him, and I plan on telling him, no, sir. These fans literally operate 0 to 40,000 RPM in like a second. It's ridiculous what this thing can do. And the whole purpose of this device is it allows a few things. It allows for some really hoist precision technology, right? So, for instance, it has the capability to like, hey, I need to put it like on the back deck of a boat. Well, the software has gone through an upgrade. And I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about this, but I'm going to talk about it anyways because it's that amazing. It's the ability to fly your basket or litter to the target. So when I talk about baskets, so right now, as you know, if a boat is going to hoist, right, it's got to have a hover reference. That hover reference is usually right almost on top of the boat, probably some kind of antenna or something, right?
Yeah.
There's something there, but the boat's got to, the aircraft has got to get over the boat. Fine. Now, where was I at? I think I was in Dubai or something.
Oh, okay. Yep. Sorry, location.
And so now what you have the ability to do is now whoever's on the back deck of your boat, right? Whether you just insert the RS or you have a crewman over there, down there, right? All you got to do is just get the boat close enough to where your pilot can still maintain eyes on the guy on the deck, right? And that's his hover reference. And now the hoist operator has the capability just to pay some cable out as far as he wants and literally just engage both fans, and you just fly the basket or the litter to the back deck of the boat.
No way.
If the boat or whatever seems to like drift, aft or forward, well, just steer your load. Like you can literally, it's the most, like it's an impressive piece of technology that's going to solve a lot of problems and offer a lot of solutions. So I've done boats, I've done litters on the sides of a cliff. So if I can't get the aircraft, or let's say the Hawk, right?
Yeah.
Can't get it fully over the cliff because of, all the loose terrain or whatever, the dead vegetation's going to wipe everybody out. Well, it's the same concept, have that pilot get as close as he can. Now, remember, if you think you're going to do like a fly to target with like 40 feet of cable out, it's not going to happen.
Right.
So you got to remember, like the longer the cable, the more distance you're going to have to travel. It takes a little bit of work. It takes some training, but it, swings, pendulums, conical rotations, oscillations, whatever you want to call them, like the downwash is no factor anymore when you're using the system.
So you know what, man? I just thought of 2 rescues right off the top of my head. One of them was Arizona DPS. Mike had come on, one of the guys down there.
Helicopter Trunk Monkey.
Yes, yeah, super good dude, right?
Yeah.
He's got some amazing stories, and one of them is they ended up doing a long line over in California, and they actually couldn't get to the dude because the rotor blades were going to hit the cliff. So what they ended up doing is like going down to another area. He ends up hiking up, so putting slack into that long line, so they're off center, gets to the patient, connects them, and then they just pick them off and they swing plumb. Mm-hmm. Dude, this thing would have like brought him right there.
That's it, man. That's it. That's what it does. I'm telling you, it is mind blowing when you see it. Like it took me a minute to wrap my noodle around like what I was saying, because this thing is doing things in defying gravity and it's moving, and it's like this should not do this, but it does it. Yeah, it's really an amazing piece of technology. And with then they acquired ARS, so You know, the ARS name is going to stay the same, you know, so Vita's now in the, you know, does gear and does the rotor flow training that Bob does. And now that they're also getting into the SAR education, you know, program side of things, you know, training a new guy and training them all the way up.
0 to hero.
Yeah, if they, you know, whatever they need. So, yeah, so a lot of things in the works going on with the company, you know, and, yeah, I'm just really excited and glad to be a part of it.
Man, Jason, that's sick.
Yeah.
Now I am gonna come over and check it out. We're gonna chill by the booth for a little bit. I might even jump in the litter. You know what? Maybe I'll throw my daughter in it, and you can like buzz her around.
If they allow you, trust me, I tried. I've been trying to get, to get the cable, you know, the right cable, but who knows? Who knows?
So what you're saying is I can't go lay down in the basket right now?
I don't know, man. They might. Everybody wants to lay. Like, I want to lay in, and I'm like, I don't know, man. That cable.
What's the worst thing to happen? I fall.
Welcome to the Quinny Convention Center.
Actually, that would never happen because, first rule, like I know it. Yeah, I got it.
So, but yeah, man, it's
that's cool, dude.
Yeah, dude, it's think of it like almost as if like a little ecosystem, if you will, for SAR, right? So we got life-saving technology and advanced technology for hoisting. You know, we have the rotor flow dynamic, you know, which is very interesting. I never knew what it was, but now I do, and I get it. I get why some people say that, like, but after sitting with the classes and just really understanding, you know, what Bob did and what he accomplished, it's pretty amazing. I told him, I was like, hey man, like it took me, I'm not kidding, it took me almost 3 courses. In the last course, it was just him by himself, you know, talking about it, and then it was like, okay, I got it. Now I see okay, I got it. So that was really cool to learn and really awesome to understand. And then, you know, with the education side, you know, they hired this gentleman, Charlie Szymanski, and yeah, he's a good dude, man.
Yeah,
you know,
Charlie's from up in Colorado area.
Yeah, Colorado.
Yeah, he does a lot of mountain rescue.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on getting him on this podcast because he has some crazy stories.
Yeah,
we've seen him present at like Goodrich Conference.
Yes.
He's also presented at APSA.
Yeah.
So he's not only is he a good speaker, but he's got the stories and he's got the experience to back it up.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Yeah,
they Caleb
that.
really put together a pretty impressive team and a leadership team. So
that's cool.
Yeah, it's been a great transition, and then, you know, being part of the Vita family, man, it's been a hell of a ride, man. It's been amazing.
That's awesome, dude.
And the fact that, like, I believe it's August, we get our airworthiness certificate for the VRS system. So we're just really hoping.
Airworthiness certificate.
Yeah, so we get. So it's been like for the past 5 years, the military's been testing it, and we're right there, man. We're just waiting for the certificate. Once that happens,
bro.
Dude, yeah, you'll start to see them out there. Yeah,
that's awesome, man.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's been a kick, dude.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right, Jason. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, man. We're running just almost out of time, so. There's one thing I love to do, and that is I love to close all the podcasts out with a little piece of advice. And now this is, I dropped this as a really general, like, what advice would you give? But you've had a ton of experience, right? You ground medic, all your stuff with your dad, right? So let's start in the beginning. Stuff with your dad growing up in the firehouse and everything he did, to then Louisiana offshore, then flying, then training, and now this. Dude, what advice would you pass on to anybody that with your life and what you've been through? What would you tell everybody?
Man, you know, teachable moment, brother.
Teachable moment.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Wow, that's kind of deep, bro.
Yeah, just there's always a teachable moment, right? And it's just the ability to recognize it. And it's you recognize it, you approach. I think if you learn like what those teachable moments have for you, I mean, you'll be able to apply those to whatever it is you're doing, you know. And it's funny because there's been a lot of opportunities, and it's very interesting, you know. Everybody's a character here in this industry, you know, and it's just that ability to recognize that teachable moment, capitalize it, whether it's for you or for whatever, you know, because, it'll only translate into something good. You know what I mean?
Beautiful. Yeah.
I guess
teachable moment, dude.
The teachable moment, bro. Yeah.
Dude, I love it.
I've had a lot. Fuck.
Amen,
Still surprised
dude.
I got all my fingers. So.
Just while I'm missing part of a digit.
Oh, dude.
Teachable moment on that one, dude.
I'm not fucking around, bro. So. Yeah.
Jason, this has been an absolute pleasure for me, brother.
Yeah,
I can't thank you enough.
I appreciate
dude, I love
it,
it, man.
I'm sorry it takes so long.
You know what? No, dude, this is well worth it. Well worth the wait, man. You know,
Yeah.
I'm super pumped to have you on. So we're gonna be in touch as always. We always keep in touch, and
Yeah.
you know, as we cross paths here and there, dude. I love seeing you. Every
Yeah.
time I see you, it's like smiles and laughs, and dude, I love it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I know, man.
but-
Thanks, man. I really appreciate the opportunity, and I need to gotta give a special shout out to Dave Callan and Monday at SR3. This industry is very, very small, and confidentiality really means a lot to me. So I appreciate that, gentlemen, for your confidentiality. That means a lot. So
freaking right, dude. I love those guys, man.
yeah, good dudes.
Absolutely
good
love
fucking
those
dudes.
guys.
So yeah, it's been a blast, man. It's
Awesome.
been a blast.
Right on. Well, enjoy the rest of the HAI show. Again,
Yeah.
I can't thank you enough for coming on and sharing some stories. It's been an absolute pleasure for me, brother.
Yeah, dude, it's been a
So,
blast, man. It's
awesome.
been a blast. Thank you.
Yeah, anytime. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, you're looking right there at that camera. We are out of here.
Thank you.
Now, it's time for me to pull chocks and take off. But before I go, I'm always looking for the memorable rescues that people have done. If you have one that you're willing to share or know somebody who has a story, please feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to highlight it here at the Real ResQ. For everybody that is standing by for that SAR alarm, remember, those in distress are praying for a miracle. They are going to get you. So until next time, fly safe and swim hard. Thank you for joining me today here at the Real ResQ Podcast, powered by Vertical Helicast. We'd also like to say thank you to our sponsors for this episode.
Breeze Eastern. For over 80 years, Breeze Eastern has designed and manufactured battle-proven aerial rescue hoists, winches, and cargo hooks. Each product is carefully crafted to support demanding mission scenarios, ensuring the job gets done safely and efficiently. Visit them today at www.breeze-eastern.com.
Bell is proud to sponsor Vertical Helicasts and their vision to hold meaningful mission, safety, and best practice conversations in the helicopter industry. The lessons learned from these conversations will undoubtedly shape the future of both new and veteran helicopter operators.
And
Precision Aviation Group. Mission-critical operators and fleet managers rely on Precision Aviation Group as a worldwide leading rotor and fixed-wing MRO provider. PAG provides tip-to-tail solutions in 4 MRO segments: avionics, components, engines, and manufacturing DER services. A single point of contact gives you access to over 150 million in inventory, globally 24/7. Just call 800-537-2778. Precision Aviation Group. Others sell parts. We sell support.
Sometimes life just seems so rough. Walking on the beach, hanging out. What he doesn't know, swimmer training is coming again. You'd think he'd like it by now, but nope, avoids it. Kind of funny. Has no idea.